I now call to order the regular scheduled governing board meeting for the Lake Havasu Unified School District on September 11th, 2025. Roll call, please.
Here. Here.
Here. Here. Item 1.3, this evening, before we get to our moment of silence, on behalf of the board, I would like to say that we condemn all and any acts of violence, whether it be a school shooting, whether it be political violence. There's no sense or call for any of that. What is happening in our nation is disgusting, and we must get back to respecting and caring about each other as people and as Americans.
Yes.
And today, today on September 11th, today on 9/11, I remember where I was on 9/11 as I watched those towers be hit and this nation be attacked. And on that day, we were not Republicans, we were not Democrats, we were not independents, we were Americans.
Yes.
And yesterday, as I lost a dear friend, a colleague, someone that loved this nation, Charlie Kirk. He is one that fought for those very freedoms. And so tonight, as we go into this moment, I ask that we remember all of the students and those who have lost their lives in school shootings, that we remember the lives of every person that lost their life on 9/11, and that we remember Charlie Kirk. Thank you. Would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Be seated. This evening, we're going to start with item 2.1, Human Resources, Recognition of Continuing Teachers. Welcome.
Good evening. Testing. Okay, yay. Okay. Good evening, President Rose, Governing Board, Dr. Stone, LHUSD staff, and community members. My name is Erin Horvath, LHUSD's Human Resources Director, and I'm so excited tonight that we have all come together to celebrate dedication, hard work, and commitment to one of the most important professions, teaching.
Yes. Right. Teaching
isn't just a job. It's a calling to shape young minds and inspire future generations. This evening, we honor those who have completed 3 years of teaching, transitioning from probationary status to continuing teacher status. This achievement, while often understated, is significant. It marks a transition from promising novices to experienced practitioners in the art of education. We know teaching today comes with many challenges, which makes this accomplishment even more meaningful. Nationally, statistics remind us that only 2/3 of those who set out on this path find themselves standing before us tonight, having weathered the storm of all these critical years. The impact of experienced teachers is powerful. Research shows that students learn more, behave better, and attend school more regularly under the guidance of skilled educators. In fact, a seminal study conducted by the Learning Policy Institute revealed that student achievement more than tripled between a teacher's 4th year in the classroom compared to their first. This remarkable growth in student achievement marks a defining moment in any educator's career, a testament to the dedication that each one of our honorees has demonstrated. But beyond the numbers, the difference these teachers make is seen in the lives they touch every day. So tonight, we celebrate not just the completion of 3 years, but the beginning of many more. We thank our 31 honorees for the difference they've already made and for the many students whose lives they will continue to shape in the years ahead. As I call your name, please come up and remain standing so that you may be recognized. Bridget Suter. Bridget is a fourth grade teacher at Havasupai who encourages her students to put their best foot forward each day and strive for success. She creates a positive classroom culture while working collaboratively with colleagues to support student learning. Her dedication ensures that students feel encouraged to do their best. Destiny McLaughlin. Destiny is a fifth grade teacher at Havasupai who works to make her ELA and history lessons engaging and meaningful for students. She's a dedicated team player who collaborates with colleagues to strengthen her instruction and support student success. She incorporates leader and me habits to guide student choices and help them grow as responsible leaders. From Jamaica, Angelina Edwardson-Meager. Her spring composite ratings have shown steady growth each year, a testament to her commitment to professional development and her impact as an exceptional second grade teacher at Jamaica Elementary. This year's walkthroughs highlight students who are fully engaged in learning, guided by our clear, well-organized daily objectives. From the high school, Brian Cortez. Mr. Cortez makes complex ideas understandable and exciting for students. His passion for discovery encourages learners to think critically, and he also leads the STEM Club. Faith Lopez. Ms. Lopez helps students build confidence by breaking down challenging concepts into clear, achievable steps during her math class. Her patience, kind spirit, and encouragement inspire learners to prosper in math. James Kroll. Mr. Kroll helps students foster creativity and expression, enabling them to find their unique voice through reading and writing. His guidance builds critical thinking and communication skills that students carry with them for a lifetime. Jessica Aston. As a fashion and design teacher, Mrs. Aston nurtures creativity by helping students turn their ideas into original, tangible designs. Her guidance builds confidence, innovation, and practical skills that prepare students for success in both artistic and professional pursuits. John Aldrin Antonio. Mr. Antonio, as an English teacher, helps students grow as readers, writers, and communicators, which all have a lasting effect on his students. He also helps foster compassionate leaders in our community, which is evident in the academic excellence and spirit of service of his key club members. From Nautilus, Jody Grimmett. Jody is a dedicated sixth grade math and history teacher who creates engaging, fun, and interactive lessons that spark her students' curiosity. She is deeply committed to build strong relationships with her students, fostering a classroom environment where they feel supported and inspired to succeed. Smoke Tree, Rowena Cesar. I apologize. A huge Cougar Country shout out to Rowena Cesar for earning continuing teacher status, a milestone that highlights her dedication and impact as an educator. From being named Rookie Teacher of the Year to helping both preschoolers and elementary students make remarkable progress, she leads with passion and heart every day, and we are proud to have her as part of our Cougar Country family. From Starline, we have Kaylin Layton. Miss Layton is an excellent addition to the Starline family, and after exploring many roles, has found her fit as the sixth grade ELA teacher. She has worked in special education and supported small groups of students along with participating in tutoring and summer school. While Miss Layton is effective teaching students from kindergarten upward, she excels in building relationships with her sixth graders who respect her and try their very best to meet high expectations and clear learning objectives.
Yes!
Darren Hunting. Mr. Hunting is a talented talented musician whose instructional and leadership skills, along with his pursuit of national board certification, inspires students by modeling reflection, growth, and excellence in performance. His enthusiasm, joyful personality, and passion for music make him a transformative presence at Starline Elementary, enriching both the school and community. Darren Yates. Mrs. Yates is an integral part of Starline's 6th grade team, leading the way with science and social studies. Her science and coaching background helped to create hands-on projects that connect with the curriculum while fostering safe, engaging learning environments. She builds strong relationships with both students and families, and her willingness to support not only her team, but the entire staff makes her a highly valued teacher leader on campus.
Heck yeah, girl!
Mary Beth Chu. Ms. Chu is a primary resource teacher at Starline who plays a vital role in supporting students with individualized education plans by coordinating her team's carefully structured schedules to ensure every child receives what they need to thrive. From guiding early literacy and collaborating on assessments to serving on our multi-tiered system of support teams, she does it all with a calm, respectful demeanor and a constant smile.
Yes!
I'd also like to take a moment to recognize our honorees who are unable to attend this evening. If I call your name and you are present, please give me a wave so I can share all the wonderful words your principal has written about you. Okay. From Havasupai, Brian Karbowski. Jacqueline Hinnon. Jamaica, Carly Robinson. Rachel Ahn. From the high school, Anthony Mallinger, Eric Wetzel, Jeffrey Chambers, Susan Walters, and Tristan Jandrew. From Nautilus, Megan Weedman. From Smoke Tree, Veronica Garcia. From Starline, Jana Mills and Stephen Clark. And from Thunderbolt, Brian Cahoot, Daniel Dion, Isabel Young, and Morgan Torres. Thank you all again for being here tonight to recognize our teachers.
All right, at this time, item 2.2, student achievement.
President Rose, Superintendent Stone, members of the governing board, and guests. This evening, the Student Achievement Department is proud to recognize Leah Branch and Isabel Young. Would you please come up? All right. Isabel cannot be with us tonight, she's coaching volleyball, but I want to bring to your attention that they have both received national attention for their instructional excellence.
Yes!
This summer, both educators were invited to present at the Core Knowledge National Conference, a distinction that highlights not only their dedication to students, but also their influence on the broader field of education. During a site visit, representatives from the Core Knowledge Foundation were so impressed with their innovative lesson planning and teaching expertise that both teachers were selected for professional videography. Wow. Their instructional practices are now featured on the Foundation's national training materials, where they serve as models for educators across the country. Mrs. Branch and Ms. Young have been recognized for their ability to design and deliver engaging, rigorous lessons that bring core knowledge content to life, inspiring both their students and their colleagues. Together they exemplify the high caliber of teaching in our district and proudly represent us on the national stage.
this time, item 2.3, the board award, if the board would please join me. All right, I'm gonna do this. So we have created a new award, board members, if you all want to come out here. We have created a new award because we want to honor people that invest into our students, into our district. And so we have created 4 awards that we're going to be giving out each month as a governing board. We'll be doing Community Member of the Month, Administrator of the Month, Teacher of the Month, and Staff Member of the Month. And so this is our first month for doing this award, and we're very excited about that. So tonight, we are proud to bring forward Andrea Foote, who is receiving... So Andrea is very involved in our district. She is a champion for education. She is involved in every school in Lake Havasu and is a supporter of this district, both personally and through Anderson Toyota. And any need there is, she tries to find a way to meet that need. And Andrea, we are thankful for you.
Yes, we sure are. We love her.
Stay up here for the pictures. The next board award goes to our staff member of the month, and this goes to Jim Leslie. Jim, if you would come forward. So Jim is part of our security team at Lake Havasu High School, and he is committed and dedicated to keeping our schools and our students safe at the high school, ensuring that things are dealt with in a timely manner. He is there to support our staff, and we're very thankful for him and his leadership. Thank you. Next is our Teacher of the Month, and this award goes to Christina Heckel, teacher at Havasu High Elementary School. So Ms. Heckel puts excellence in education. She strives to make sure that every student achieves to the best of their ability, and she's an encourager. She's been with this district for a very long time. We are thankful for you. Congratulations. And the last award for this month is the Board Award for Administrator of the Month, and it goes to our Maintenance Director, Thomas O'Connor. Thomas, oh, well, I think it's that. So Thomas, whenever we need anything, Thomas is there. We had several issues throughout the battery issues, flooding issues. He keeps our air going, so whatever the need, we are thankful for him. So Thomas, congratulations. Board, if you'll get in with these individuals.
Andrea, you go, girl. Let's go. Heck yeah. Wow. Let's go. Yes. Hey, I'm gonna come work for her.
All right, at this time, item 2.4, Lake Havasu City Education Association, Ms. Carol Nowakowski.
Yeah, Carol! Love her. Come on, Carol.
So, good evening, President Rose, members of the board, Superintendent Stone, staff, students, and community. I appreciate your comment as we began today, because mine's going to be along those lines. So I'm going to turn and face, sorry. So, most months I take my time at the podium to share information with the board reflecting on the past month's events, upcoming activities, legislative updates, and thoughts on policy. But tonight, I'd like to share some thoughts that have been weighing on me. Today, this week, this month has been difficult for many educators in our community for multiple reasons. And in a world where we often feel rushed, disconnected, and pulled in many directions, it's essential to pause, especially when we feel agitated or overwhelmed. Pausing allows us to center ourselves, to approach situations with a clear mind, and to meet each moment with an open heart. I encourage each of us in this room and in our community to be reflective in our actions, mindful of the present moment, and to engage with one another from a place of empathy and understanding. True connection comes from actively listening, stepping into one another's shoes, and showing compassion without expecting anything in return. Let us remember the power of patience and kindness, especially in times of stress or disagreement. These small, intentional acts create a ripple effect that can transform our community. We, our community, are here together not by accident, but because each of us brings something unique and valuable to the table. In this space, we honor one another's experiences and perspectives, knowing that by doing so, we all grow stronger. As we move forward into this new school year, let us continue to support one another with gratitude and non-judgment. Let's celebrate our shared history and create new memories that will bind us even closer. After all, it is our sense of belonging, of mattering, and of contributing to something greater than ourselves that gives us our lives purpose and meaning. Thank you.
Thank you, Carol. All right, at this time, item 3.1, call to the public. Those of you who have signed up for call to the public this evening, each of you will be given 3 minutes to speak. We ask that you remain professional, kind. Please do not be hateful. That is just, let's be respectful to one another. Call to the public at this time. Ms. Fullerton.
Jamie Elmore?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jamie Elmer. I'm a former LHHS teacher, but I'm currently working in my most rewarding role to date as a stay-at-home parent. I'm so grateful for the time staying home affords me to focus on raising our daughters with our core values and teaching them to become people of integrity.
Sorry.
Can we just start over?
Yeah, can we start it over?
Thank you.
I just went close enough.
Sorry.
You're saying you can.
Okay.
You're fine.
All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Jamie Elmer. I'm a former LHHS teacher, but I'm currently working in my most rewarding role to date as a stay-at-home parent. I'm so grateful for the time that staying home affords me to focus on raising our daughters with our core values and teaching them to become people of integrity. To be honest, to do the right thing, to own their mistakes, to walk with kindness and compassion through life, treating people from all walks of life with the dignity and respect we all deserve. But above all else, to speak out and defend others when we see an injustice. And that is why I'm here today, to model that very thing for our daughters. David, on April 12th, you reposted a video on your personal public Facebook page of a young man speaking vulnerably and articulately to a gathered crowd of college students about the difference between biological sex and gender. The entire crowd proceeds to mock him, laugh at him, belittle him. The young man holds his ground calmly and doesn't stoop to their level, as they do their best to make him feel less than human. You reposted this video, and your caption of it was, "Listen to this guy embarrass himself trying to sound smart." I want all of you to let the gravity of that sink in for a moment. I don't care whether you're left, right, center, gay, straight, trans, black, white, purple, pink, green, what you posted And what you're in turn encouraging and perpetuating is a climate and culture of hate. It's despicable and indefensible for anyone to speak with such callousness, let alone a supposed man of God, but most importantly, for our purposes here, the president of a school board. Your job is to lead by example, to set the tone for others to follow, to be a model for our students, stand up for all children, whether or not they were born feeling the same way as you inside. Your claim to fame since being elected is that you are finally putting students first. But you must mean straight children, right? Because how would you feel if you were a trans student in our district who got curious one night, decided to scroll through his school board president's public Facebook page only to stumble across this repost? Or do you not think we actually have trans students in our schools? Because I assure you, we do. I taught them. And let me tell you, those kids who every day wake up and brave a world filled with hate directed toward them, laughing at them, telling them they're an embarrassment, those kids have more integrity and goodness in their fingertip than you could have in a lifetime. Unless you're willing to explain to my little girls and every other student in this district why it's okay to mock someone who holds different beliefs than you, then you know your actions and words are indefensible as well. And Evelyn, unless you're willing to defend posting something like play stupid games, win stupid prizes, in referring to someone who could have been killed by a hit and run simply because they were exercising their free right of speech, then you know that you're wrong as well. You are the online bullies that our kids face daily. You are complicit in driving people in this country to their breaking point. Remember this tonight as you discuss school security. You can add all the security guards and measures you want, but none of this violence and hate will ever start to get better until our elected leaders begin to speak and act with, first and foremost, with kindness and compassion. If you believe in your Constitution, please get your political agenda and your beliefs, religious beliefs, out of our Havasu public education. Thank you.
Karen Vanderjack.
Good evening, board. Yeah, I'm Karen Vanderjack. I represent PACE, and I was also a teacher in this district for many years. And I want to get right to the purpose. This is an action item. I'd like you to work towards, in our Constitution, Article 3, and you have it in front of you, all of you. And I understand, thank you, Lisa, I'm sorry to refer to you as Lisa. Thank you for responding to my email and letting the superintendent know. I really appreciate you doing that, so hopefully she's looked into this. This was a law that was passed in 1998, and it was brought to the Senate of our state, and he was he wanted to see the kids be able to recite a section of the Declaration of Independence. And so this bill got passed by both the House and the Senate and signed by the governor. So it is a law. So I don't know if you're actually doing it. I don't know if you're actually doing it right now, but all they have to say is we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they're endowed by their creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's it. It's so they can say it with the Pledge of Allegiance. This is for 4th through 6th graders. Now, I just talked to my friend today who was a senator who presented this in 1998, and he said, I really wanted it for kindergarten through 12th grade, but he said, I had to settle for 4th through 6th. So I'm hoping that the school district will follow the law that is a regulated law and make sure the kids are reciting this. And what a great year to be doing this. This is the, Quinn something, anyway, 250 years. And we are celebrating our Declaration of Independence and the birth of our country. So this would be a great year to get this going, and I hope you'll make it an action item to really work. And also congratulations to 3 of your schools who have PACE program, which I'd like to congratulate: Jamaica, Smoke Tree, and Havasu. And I would love to have more. I'm having difficulty being able to get more. But thank you for letting me tell you about this, and I hope that you will do something about this, that you'll get with the superintendent and make sure this is being done. It's a law. And I'd love it if you do kindergarten through 12th grade. That'd be wonderful. Okay, thank you very much.
my name's Harold Meeks, and I just want to say that I really appreciate what the board has been doing. I appreciate that you were able to give raises to all the teachers. I thought it was a little humiliating that our town was one of the lowest paid teachers in pretty much the United States. But I'm glad that that got resolved, and I'm sure that all the teachers are glad they got a raise. Everybody's happy about a raise. And I just want you to know that I really appreciate what you guys are doing. I know that this isn't a paid position. It's something that you do because you do it from your heart. And I know that a lot of people have a lot of negative things to say, but they can easily run for the position and get on the school board. But it takes time and effort, and I know that you're doing it for the kids, even though, you know, we all can make a mistake here or there, and anybody that thinks that they're the perfect person, well, then let's look at your social media, and I guarantee you I can find an instance where you did something you shouldn't have done or said. And I just want to say that I really appreciate all that you do, and a lot of people are upset that you know, there was talk about like furries in the school and different things about it, but I'm glad that we're all about education, that we want the kids to succeed, that you know, we're making sure that the books that we have, you know, aren't having hate speech in it against our country. And so I just want everybody to know that I appreciate it when people do a job that they don't get paid for. You know, there's a lot of people that can run for a lot of other positions where they're getting paid, but they could have easily took on a second job, and it would have been way less hassle, way less friction, way less problems, but they want to do it for the kids, and that's the reason why, you know, all of us, our Constitution is about we the people, and we need to realize that a lot of people say, well, I can't do this and I can't do that. Well, that's how you felt when you started your first job. But as you learned it, you became very good at it, and then you became a leader. And that's how it is in anything we do. So if you, okay.
Hi guys, thank you for your work, appreciate it. And one of the things I was going to talk about tonight is the Second Amendment and how important it is for us to have the right to say what's on your mind, whoever the person is and whatever their views are. It's important to talk about what you think. And one of the things that Charlie Kirk did was invited everyone to bring anything up for any topic of discussion. And he welcomed that and he discussed it. Whether you agree with Charlie's ideas or with someone else's ideas, that's okay. So thank you for bringing up what you wanted to talk about in front of everyone. That doesn't mean that we all agree with you. So, and there's nothing wrong with anyone's personal ideas about what they think about a gender. That's your opinion or my opinion or your opinion. So don't put someone down for it. You can disagree with it and say you disagree with it respectfully, and that's okay. But again, thank you very much, and thank the teachers for all the work that you've done in this probationary time, and congratulations for you all for what you've accomplished. Thank you.
Hey, listen, hi. I know I talk really fast, you always tell me to slow down. Can't hear you.
Can't hear a thing.
Yeah. And I'm really short too, so you know, it's on to me. All right, so I have a few things on the topic tonight. I think this office blue here is gonna die too. Where's that maintenance guy? I had a few things on the topics for tonight. I wanted to point out, as you're doing great over there. I have a pie. I know where I stand in regards to it, but I do want to say, I don't like what happened. I still am not happy with the decision, but I do think Havasu Pie's principal is amazing.
Yeah,
And
girl.
I want to give her a shout out because I love her. It's just inconvenient for the entire situation. But I also want to touch on that again, is that we don't have options as parents. If I have an issue with a teacher, I cannot pull my kid and go to another school. I cannot ask for a different teacher. I do not have that right. If my student does not get along with a teacher, or starts having behavioral issues, or is running, or is the teacher's not following IEP, the most I can do is file a complaint or go to the principal, what else do I have, homeschool my kid? I'm not. I'm sorry, I need sanity. I've got 4 going on 5. I'm good. Please keep educating my kids. And then I wanted to talk about after-school programs. I think I spoke with you. I think it was, maybe no, well, I spoke with somebody. It was in regards to one of the schools locally deciding that students were not welcome on their campus that attended other schools if they wanted to do an after-school program. I think that is completely unacceptable and unfair. My daughter pays to be in Baton. She has every right to go to Baton, and for her to be told she cannot practice with her team and do well in competition because the school has decided at Smoke Tree that they do not want students that do not attend their school on their campus, and then to find out there are other programs being awarded the right to be there. That these students are at Havasu Pie and other locations, or do not go to school at all, because they're adults, that they're going to allow this program to be there. Now, I like the program that's being invited in. It doesn't mean I like the policy and the lack of consistency in the policy. I wanted to bring up something we've talked about in the past too, how we speak at these meetings. It's really hard for us to come up here and speak our mind about an agenda we haven't heard on. I have an opinion on everything you're gonna say in the next half of this. And I understand you don't wanna stop each topic and be like, hey, parents, do you wanna say something now? But I do feel like we don't have an opinion on the final vote of those because we haven't heard the actual pitch of what we're voting on, you're voting on. And so you're not hearing us.
Yes.
And our opinions until, I don't know what they're gonna talk about. I can't object to it or say, hey, I really do like that idea. I come in, no, I don't know. I'm gonna jump ahead. School safety, we're gonna talk about it.
Thank you so much.
I will not make this 3 minutes because kickoff is at 7 and I need to be there.
I think it's dead, so you're okay.
We can't hear you.
My name is Christina Musman. Can I kind of turn this way?
Absolutely.
It's really for parents. I'm a teacher at Starline Elementary, and I'm just here to share that as a district, we are a Leader in Need district. Majority of our schools are participating in this program K-12, and so currently we have a parenting workshop that is available to families for free. It is a 6-hour training. If you want to attend, I will put flyers at the table out there. I will give each of you one so that you have one as well. But I just wanted to share at the majority of our schools, we are teaching the 7 habits of highly effective people and highly effective families. And so this is a way for you as a family to understand what your child is coming home and talking about. So I've had students in my class come home and tell their parents, Mrs. Mussman said I used proactive language today. Or I'm really working on not being reactive. And so parents are asking us, are you using the words proactive and reactive with my 6-year-old? I'm like, yes, it is part of Leader in Me. And so it's really just a way for you to understand the philosophy of Leader in Me. And it's really, at the end of the day, the whole workshop is dedicated to you and your family. And the only person that is in charge of just defining what your family is and what vision you're gonna have as a family is you. And so by participating in this workshop, you get to decide what you honor that the school is teaching your child about the practices and then how you can implement that at home in your own way. There is currently not official daycare at our trainings. However, we have offered, if you are a parent and want to attend and you have small age children, we are going to work with the high school program to find daycare for you. So we are in the process of working, but it is September 20th if you want to attend. I will put the flyers out there. And then I did bring one packet for the board if you just want to see at all what the participants get. Okay, thank you.
All right, we'll give everybody a moment to clear out before we move on. All right, item 4.1, consent agenda. I need a motion and a second.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
I second.
Mike Colfer,
Yes.
Evelyn Titzler,
Yes.
Lisa Romano,
Yes.
Matthew Houston,
Yes.
David Rose.
Yes. Now, item 5.1, student achievement school goals and action plan update. The musical.
We were trying a new way, guys.
But I'm not sure what's going on.
There you go. Beautiful. All right. Can you pull up that PowerPoint for me, please? Good evening, President Rose, Superintendent Stone, members of the governing board. Tonight, I want to give you an update on the action steps each school is taking in relation to their site goals, with a particular focus on literacy at the elementary and middle school level and standards alignment at the high school level. Each principal completed a spreadsheet to help us organize and track their site level work. Those spreadsheets are for you in the board docs. There are 2 tabs for each school. Tab 1 contains their CNA goal, their 301 goal, their elementary literacy goal that they'll complete on September 16th, and then their site goal that they presented to you in August. My hope is by putting all the goals in one place, we can look for alignment and gaps. And then tab 2 is their self-reported data on current student proficiency on the 24-25 AASA and the elementary beginning of the year DIBELS test. Right, yep, nope, go back one, please. Okay, perfect. At the elementary level, we just completed our beginning of the year DIBELS benchmark assessment. This data gives us an early look at how our students are entering the school year, what supports they will need, and how effective our Tier 1 literacy instruction is across classrooms. And we had 98% completion, which is really great. Okay, all right. So once students take that beginning of the year assessment, our system of support is divided into 3 tiers. At the bottom, you see Tier 1, which is green. This is our high quality classroom instruction for all students. Every student is screened 3 times a year, beginning of the year, middle of the year, and end of the year. Tier 1 instruction is effective for 80 to 90% of our students. However, it's not effective for every student. So then we look at the next tier, which is yellow, Tier 2. This is for students who are not demonstrating sufficient progress in Tier 1, and they receive targeted interventions in addition to Tier 1. These students are progress monitored every 10 days. And this instruction is effective for 5 to 15% of students. That's the percentage we want to see in that tier. And then finally, Tier 3. This is students who are not making progress in Tier 2, and these students receive really intense support tailored to their specific needs, and we would like to see only 1 to 5% of our students in that tier. I want to emphasize that being in Tier 2 or Tier 3 should be temporary for a student. And if too many students are in intervention, it signals that we have a Tier 1 problem. We can't intervene our way out of weak core instruction. And principals are taking specific action steps at their sites to strengthen that Tier 1 instruction. So next, what we're gonna look at are the percentage of the,
percentages of students at each tier, and the action steps being taken to strengthen core instruction. Understand that schools support as many students as they can in these tiers based on their capacity. Some schools just have more educational assistants than other schools. Okay, so first we look at Havasupai, and I'm not going to read all these bullet points to you, but you can see their percentage of Tier 3 and Tier 2 students. Havasupai is currently working towards really intentional, data-driven instruction to meet every student's need. Okay, go to the next one. Here's Jamaica. Jamaica is building a really strong, consistent MTSS framework to support all students this year. This is where their focus lies. Nautilus is strengthening instruction through data-informed support and collaborative professional learning. They're really working hard to push their specialists into classrooms as well when they have availability to support students. Oro Grande Classical Academy is using collaboration, monitoring, and family engagement to strengthen Tier 1 instruction and support student progress. I'd like to point out that Smoke Tree is raising their expectations. They raised their achievement cycle from 8% to 10%. And they are strengthening, again, their targeted support through data-informed collaboration. And if you notice here, I did want to point out at Smoke Tree because it looks like their numbers are very, very high. They are really focusing that Tier 2 and Tier 3 support for their students in grades K through 3. And then they support their intermediate students through fluency routines that are built into the daily schedule. And they call it win time, what I need time for those intermediate students. So don't let that skew you too much. Starline? Starline is strengthening Tier 1 instruction through collaboration, targeted support, and student accountability. They're having their students use Leader in Me to set goals for themselves. And Thunderbolt Middle School. Thunderbolt Middle School has some Tier 3 supports in place for ELA, and their Tier 2 will begin in October. Right now they are implementing a brand new homeroom program where kids are getting specialized support. In the coming months, they're really going to target those homerooms where students will be intentionally grouped so that they can get the supports they need. So that's in the work. They're using data and targeted professional development to strengthen Tier 1 instruction and ensure consistent implementation. And then the high school looks just a little different. If you remember, we had 3 separate goals for the high school: math, English, and science. And these 3 departments are working on aligning their instruction to the standards, strengthening formative assessment practices, and ensuring that their students are prepared for state-level accountability measures, such as the ACT. Each department is working to refine Tier 1 instruction using data to guide next steps. Math is focused on sequencing and formative assessments to make sure the right skills are taught and measured at the right time. English is placing an emphasis on differentiation and formative measures to ensure all students are progressing toward mastery. And the science department is ensuring consistency across classrooms by aligning formative and summative assessments to the standards. Last one. All right. And then these are some of the supports that the student achievement coaches are providing to the schools and to different groups of teachers. But I do want to be very clear. We have seen a stagnation in student achievement scores, but that is not a teacher problem. I want to be very clear about that. It is a system problem. And when I say it is a system problem, that means the responsibility lies with all of us. Directors, principals, instructional coaches. We need to identify the barriers that are keeping our students from thriving and then develop clear, actionable measures to address those barriers. Just as importantly, when we see positive changes, we need to make sure that's sustained. It's not just a short-term initiative, but lasting improvement that serves all students. So the bottom line is that this work has to be rooted in collective responsibility. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Any questions from the governing board?
Thank you for the updates and all the board docs and the spreadsheets you all principals filled out, showing us what you guys are doing. This is the kind of detail and the kind of action we want. Thank you for doing this. This is going to be our focus this year. Let's get these efficiencies up. Great job.
Thank you.
All right.
Look forward to next month's success.
Thank you so much. All right, at this time, item 5.2, Student Services School Safety Audit. I would like, before Mr. Keller speaks, to say that we have added additional school security at Thunderbolt Middle School, and we are thankful for that. And I know Ms. Barney and the admin team at Thunderbolt are also very thankful, as well as Officer Nutt. So at this time, we'll turn over to Mr. Keller.
Thank you, Board President, members of the board, and Dr. Stone. What we have started is, actually it started yesterday, Homeland Security, Department of Homeland Security, which covers the 9, this department covers the 9 western states, and I think she said there's down to 3 of them. So we were very fortunate that a member of Homeland Security came up here yesterday to start, and she's like a lot of federal agencies, because if you guys don't know, their budget starts October 1 when their budget restarts, so they have literally no travel money right now. So she came up yesterday from Surprise. We went to the high school and the middle school, and then she is on her way back. She went back after that, so it was a very quick turnaround, but she was very impressed with what she saw both the high school and the middle school, and she took copious amounts of notes with suggestions for improvements. She couldn't be more congratulatory to the schools for what they already have. 137 cameras at the high school and 69 cameras at the middle school, which covers those schools very well with all the exterior barriers we've added. And she's going to give us a lot of recommendations for small things we can do, avenues for things we can do to get some money to make some changes. She will be back. We're hoping no more than 2 trips, since she's having to day travel, maybe 3, to hit the elementary schools and then the district office. She also told me today that she's reached out. I got about 2 hours ago, I heard back from her. She said she'd give me some quick turnaround. So we haven't planned the next trip up here yet, because she's hoping to get back here before September. She knows we're on fall break that first week in October, but if she does get some travel money, she would actually love to bring a couple other people from the state emergency management up here as well, to be able to give a full rundown on everything. Like I said, she was very, very complimentary of what we have at the high school and the middle school, and she was proud to see what we have up there. And there's always room for improvement, but lots of good ideas, lots of good feedback. Administration at the high school and the middle school were wonderful. Security staff, wonderful. As we walked around, we have a really good idea now, and we're going to go forward. Any questions on that part?
Not questions, thank you for elucidating that she's coming back. But just on the subject matter, Dr. Stone, I'd like to get a cost analysis of what it would take to have 1 or 2 security personnel at every school. I know we already have in high school and middle school, but really we need to have individuals who are actively securing the premises on every school that we have children. Especially in this time, in this culture, we need to put security at the highest priority. We cannot teach children unless there's safety first. So we have to secure their safety. So I'm glad this audit started yesterday. Looking forward to hearing her assessments, and as we go forward, I would like to get the cost assessment on what it would be to have security in all schools.
So are you talking about like more resource officers?
Whether or not we have to bring them in-house and have our own security, or resource officers, I want to know the cost of what that's going to be.
I'm curious too. Do we hire our resource officers, or are they through Havasu?
No, they're through the police department.
They are?
Yes.
Yes. But we do have the option. I have spoken with other districts who have brought their SROs in-house. The SROs still work for PD, but they bring them over and put them on district payroll. And what that does, that opens up, for example, right now, Officer Nutt, just as an example at the middle school, if he suspects a student has drugs, just because he thinks, he has to have probable cause. Whereas, administration just
Reasonable-
needs to.
reasonable
just need reasonable
suspicion.
suspicion.
Yes.
And so it really opens up a door for him to be more efficient doing his job. So those are conversations that the district is beginning to
Yeah,
have
those
with.
are definitely some things that need to hopefully
They
change.
just passed the funding for the
Yes.
security officer, so, look into that funding.
Under the school safety grant,
Yes.
there's two options for the school safety grants, counselors or resource officers.
Okay.
And currently, it does pay for counselors at every elementary school.
All right, Mr. Keller, go ahead.
Any other, that was the basis of that. Like I said, this is very fresh. I was very impressed with her knowledge. I've been through a Homeland Security audit before, and she was very thorough. And like I said, she was extremely impressed with both the high school and the middle school. She asked me how many cameras at the high school, and I says, I don't know, but Mr. Becker can tell you right off the top of his head. And he did 137 cameras. And there are improvements. She talked about, I may have mentioned it to a few of you before, once we get the audit done, and I'm hoping to apply for a grant through the feds called the COPS grant, which will help us get maybe single point entries, maybe some increased, especially at the high school, lighting, cameras in the parking lot. The elementary schools are very well covered with cameras, but we could always we'll look for more improvements as well. Middle school is very well covered as well, but that high school parking lot is as expansive as that building and that campus has become. That's why they have 137 cameras and some weak points. It's also, we're hoping to use some of that money if we do get that grant to get everybody upgraded radios. The middle school, very specifically because of the construction of the building, if they are not a more digital radio, not necessarily what police officers carry, because they work through a repeater, but a digital radio that can actually, like our phones do, use Wi-Fi as a backup, you could actually hear from one end of the building to the other. And the construction of that building makes a very, very secure building, 2-story brick building, but it also is not very friendly to radio waves. So we're looking to upgrade to that, and we need to get all our radios, in my opinion, up to standard across the district, where I ultimately would like to have multiple frequencies, but same exact radio that I could take one and go from Starline to the high school to Oro Grande, just switch a button and I could be tuned in with what they've got going right there.
That's a fantastic recommendation, especially in an emergency situation.
Absolutely.
Communicate effectively is key. So, Dr. Stone, I'd like to have that looked into.
What is our current, so let's say there's an incident at the middle school and we have SROs additionally at the high school. What is our current way, most efficient way currently to communicate to?
Call dispatch.
Call dispatch.
They encourage us to the point of flat telling us, please call dispatch. Because they can assess the situation, they know where everybody's at. I don't know, I don't even remember the days, because there's one day a week they're not in middle school. Yeah, we're not gonna, yeah.
Monday, high school doesn't
Yeah.
have Friday.
Yeah, we have to,
Not informing he's getting overtime to be there Mondays now.
well,
And officers.
they try to cover it as much as they can. I also have been, other incidents in the last just month with a couple of the elementary schools where dispatch was the closest and the quickest way to get somebody there.
Awesome.
Yeah,
So that's what I'm talking, we need security there. That
correct.
Mondays and Fridays, we have a security gap.
And
That's an unacceptable security gap, so I definitely want to get that improved.
as far as I'm concerned, my best response to security is, I know where every school is now without looking it up. And I've gone from the yard ornament turn here to I know where all the streets are. So I have actually personal pride on that one. I know where I can get to everybody. It's really nice if I'm just rolling in here and I have to go up to have a soup bite because that's a straight shot. I'm like, oh, I got that one right now. But we also, the radios, that's a kind of a biggie for me because as we've discussed before, if there is an incident, the reason we don't want everybody on their phones is it will clog dispatch up. And if I have a radio that is independent from that, I don't need to worry about that. And I did get a quote the other day for base stations. a hardwired, sets on your desk, kind of like the big ones that are in the bus, with an antenna on top of the campus. Now, it necessarily isn't gonna broadcast to all the schools, we're not a repeater, but as a base for the school is only about $750. And I don't think that's too much to ask for having a base station in the office that can get to all the radios on campus. Because I can tell you right now, Starline, if you're down there in the bottom of the bowl, it's really hard to hear even up to the gym. So, because I've experienced that specifically. So,
What
I'm trying to
radio
do that.
system were you guys looking at?
I would love Motorola's. They are the gold standard. We currently have a lot of RCA's, but I think RCA and Motorola have done some merging because I took a Motorola apart yesterday and had an RCA battery on it. So, Motorola itself doesn't deal directly with education anymore. They have a subsidiary they are built in the Philippines now. So, but they are the gold standard for repeater or multi-channel radios.
All right. All right, any other
Any
questions?
questions, guys?
I know we went over cameras before, and I actually had talked to Dr. Stone about it, but I have not found anything saying that you can't have voice with camera, and currently we only have just cameras. But it would be nice to have something of that sort, at least in the front office, because I mean, the secretaries and stuff, they're all wrapped in their own little bubble, but out in the other side.
You're talking
is
about like in the
sometimes-
foyer of the school?
Yeah, well, no, like when you go through the front door where
Yeah,
where you go to talk to the, is that what it's called?
Yes.
Perfect, well, like right there. Cause we definitely have had some things come up in general, and you see someone on there and they're clucking away, but you have no clue what they're saying.
Could you speak to that, Mr.?
I need to look into, I can tell you what Nevada law says, but I can't say Arizona law, because there's recording, it's a two-party authentication in Nevada but Arizona's only one party. But I don't know if voice is included in that. Do you know? I know, it's one of those minute
Unless
things.
there's a direct statute saying you can't have audio.
Correct.
And I
The likelihood
definitely
is we
looked
can
it
have
up,
audio.
there's not.
It's a one-party recording while we can record audio. So,
Correct.
Is there stipulation on how many parties can be involved in that conversation to have the recording?
So I will look into the voice part, at least in the, what we'd call the common areas.
Okay.
The entrance to the common areas, because that might be very beneficial as you, I understand where you're coming from on that. And I would imagine some of our cameras are not up to date that would have it.
Talked about those cameras when they got them, cause it wasn't that long ago, and I'm not really seeing why. to be
Technology
honest.
changes so quick. And honestly, any bus video that has audio, because most buses have video audio on it, even transit buses, most school buses do.
Right.
You can barely make out the audio. The video's great, but you can barely make out the audio because if you get a noise canceling microphone, then you'll never hear anything, because a bus is a big hollow chamber. And some of those foyers might be the same way. I can imagine some of the more hard surface foyers are going to echo quite a bit, and then the carpeted ones are going to dampen. So I will have to look to see, first of all, if it is acceptable as they come along, as they go along with the video, and if it is, what our options are to add audio, at least to the common areas.
Okay.
Thank you.
And then one other thing I would like to add, if you would like to address this,
Sure.
you may, but it is regard to student and school safety, is we have had, over the last few weeks, several false threats of handguns on school campuses. Just so you know, first I want to commend Principal Amy Barney and the administrative team at Thunderbolt Middle School for partnering with Lake Havasu Police Department and doing school assemblies to really let our students know that we're not playing around. So anyone, including any student, that makes a threat, even if it is a joke, will be charged with a felony.
That, the police
When it
department,
comes to-
the police department, Havasu PD, as Sergeant Jackson said that very bluntly to all
Yes.
7th and 8th graders. And take it as, I would take heed with that regardless of age. Why I was literally walking around our high school yesterday with Homeland Security looking at our situation, we had 2 incidents, Charlie Kirk and a high school outside of Denver with a shooting. Guys, we can become numb to this. I can tell you right now, there is no way. I've been in conversation with Ms. Barney other principals at the elementary when they're like, this is going on, and I'm like, I don't care how small it is. It is going to be addressed. And honestly, and we all know this happens, I don't mean to look over there, I just want to make sure, knocking the thing off, I want to make sure I was where I was coming from. Like I said, when I don't care how small it is, we have to take it seriously, absolutely seriously. You can respond to 100 things, they all end up being false. That's great. You don't respond to one and it becomes real, that's tragic. And we've seen a lot of, I would classify copycat, attention-seeking repetition right now. And that's why I'm very happy that the police department said, even if it is a joke, it is going to be a felony. And at that point, we follow our own procedures, we go through our protocols, police department goes through their protocols. And between the two, we hope to ensure the, I don't know the best way to put it, ensure that we're very clear and very understood that we need to be way more diligent about, we did worry a little bit about it being, okay, well, I'm not gonna report anymore because I'm gonna get charged with a felony. I don't think we have to worry about too much about that. Kids are very resilient, kids are very smart, they understand. It's the kids that go, well, I thought it was funny. You might be the only one in the room right now, because it doesn't even matter if we haven't had any incidents anywhere near right now. It doesn't matter, because I've been through several real lockdowns with real situations. I've been close to them. We've all, a lot of us have grown up with them. And when I went in school, I would have never even thought to worry about any of this stuff. But we are I mean, when I first got here, guys, I drove around every campus, and I am impressed with, it doesn't make it look like a prison, but our schools have an iron fence around them that secures that fence. And that keeps us from having to worry about someone wanting, and guys, I don't know why, but someone wanting to come on campus to do somebody harm. And even if it's within ourselves, we have to take it seriously. And we will never stop checking into it. I can't even fathom how many hours have been put in the last month alone. And honestly, it does take away from their education. That's their number one reason why they're here. But we also take it seriously.
Right. All right, thank you, Mr.
You
Cobb.
bet. Thanks.
All right, item 6.1, Superintendent and second reading of updated policies. Dr. Stone. Good evening.
Good evening, President Rose, members of the board. You will remember that last month on August 14th, I did present all of these 11 policies as a first reading. These came as a result of the legislative session. They were available for a month. I have not received any comments, and there have been no changes to these policies, so they are being presented tonight for approval.
Okay. Is there any questions in regards to item 6.1?
Approving these, will they become effective immediately, or is there any sort of lapse or delay? I mean,
She's asking if they will.
Lapse is probably effective towards the end of the month.
towards the end of the month. Okay. And
Are you
then
able to
with,
hear me?
go ahead. With mandatory training, mandatory reporting. Mandatory reporting means that all of our substitutes would be mandatory reporters, and all of us board members would be mandatory reporters. Is there any sort of training for substitute teachers, and is there any training for board members? Yes?
There is. We have mandatory reporting slides that we do go through, and I will send those to the board for your ability to look through those. If you have any questions, you can ask. And our substitutes do get trained through our mandatory reporting process as well.
When it comes to like doing the mandatory reporting, is it that specific teacher or is it that specific principal that are gonna group together? You know what I mean? Cause sometimes I feel like things can be not twisted, but looked at differently. Like my expectations may be different than your expectations, you know what I'm saying?
Right, but the training will do a better job of explaining that I'm going to do extemporaneously, but you will be a mandatory reporter after this, so if you have reason to believe that a student is being harmed, you will be responsible to this. You'll have to report it directly to law enforcement, and you'll have to follow all the protocols as a board member.
No, I get it as a board member, but even as teachers or whatnot, they wouldn't go to their superior first.
No.
No.
They go
Straight to law enforcement.
Got it.
Law enforcement does have training in-house as well, and there is other places in town that do it in person. You should be actively working with them instead of doing slide training or online training.
I agree.
It should not be an online course that you guys take. You should absolutely have to be doing it with the law enforcement and the people that are providing it.
Thank you.
Do you want me to repeat that person's comment just so that you hear it, Dr. Stone? So a person in our boardroom recommended that we have an in-person training through what agency is it?
The police department.
Just the law enforcement?
And I know DCS is involved as well as another agency that will be there to make sure that you guys have full resource to contact.
So it'd be in conjunction with the police department and DCS, and she's recommending that we do in-person training, that we do not rely on slides or an online presentation.
Maybe we could look at partnering with our PD and them coming in and doing a training for those, like the governing board, substitutes, anyone, yeah, and just to maybe update our entire mandatory reporting system.
So our reporting session is done by our attorney.
Okay.
And we do go through all of the pieces of the law that are necessary for you to have.
Okay.
We can always talk with our community partners as well.
Okay, awesome. All right, at this time, is there any other questions? All right, if not, I need an approval for item 6.1. A motion to approve in a second.
I move to approve item 6.1.
I second.
Michael Kern?
Yes.
Evelyn Hensley?
Yes.
Lisa Roman?
Yes.
Matthew Houston?
Yes.
Stephen Rhodes?
Yes. At this time, item 6.2, Superintendent, first reading of updated policy 5-305, Student Code of Conduct. Dr.
Thank you,
Stone.
Mr. Rose, President, and members of our board. As some people have discussed tonight, we've had some significant behavioral concerns, and we are requesting an update to our Student Code of Conduct. We are including the fact that engagement in a fight would be considered blocking an entrance or exit where a fight is happening. We're also asking to add a new item that prohibits the video recording of any violation of the Student Code of Conduct and texting it to others or posting it to social media. However, video recording for reporting purposes is permitted. For example, if someone were video recording something to present to school or district administration or law enforcement, that is certainly permissible. And we also wanted to share that any student video recording in violation of the Student Code of Conduct would be referred for the same consequences of violation that was video recorded and texted to others or posted on social media. Upon adoption of this policy, the associated procedure, which is 5-305A, would also be updated to reflect these changes.
All right, at this time, is there any questions or discussion from the governing board?
Yeah, just a few pieces on this. You know, obviously the incident that occurred, there was the instances where the individual felt the door was blocked. This is a common occurrence in these fights where you have the individuals who are fighting and you have people kind of securing the area. You are engaging by your conduct in that assault or the bullying of that individual. So putting the onus on those individuals who are supporting the bullying or participating in the bullying or in the fight, this puts them on the block too. That says, you know what, maybe I'm not going to hold the door from it, or maybe I'm not going to prevent this individual from fleeing and seeking help. That is why that piece was added. As far as the video recording, you know, we're not looking to punish kids for, oh my gosh, what's going on? Let me document this. If you're doing that and you're reporting it to your principal, you're reporting it to your teacher, you're taking it to your parents to say, this action is wrong, I have evidence for it, let's seek to correct it. Rather than, let me get views, let me send this out to my friend. We all witnessed yesterday someone assassinated in basically real time. That video hit the internet. His wife, his children are going to see that. The instance that took place, that the child who had the fight, was participating in it, we had to suggest sending the law enforcement to his house to protect him because the video got out to Facebook and he was attacked. His address was allegedly sent out on Snapchat. This was a 7th grade child. This is a middle school child that the community, in essence, bullied. because that video was sent out to the public at large, rather than sent to the principals where it should have been kept so that they can, and Ms. Barney, Carol, thank you for your actions. You guys took proper action, proper discipline, and handled it, and it was blown out of proportion. It was taken, and a 7th grade child who, yes, should be punished, was then vilified in the community, might not even be able to return to school. A 7th grade student, a middle schooler. School is supposed to be a place of growth, even for kids who have behavioral issues. They are also to be protected. And so that is why this video recording is. If you're recording it to help to bring perpetrators to justice and get discipline, wonderful. But if you're just videoing it, you're participating in it. You're watching that person suffer. You're encouraging that for views or for whatever you're doing. And that I don't believe is acceptable. So I do like this. And again, I'd like the administrators to know that the stance is that it's every video recording, it's how the person uses it. That's, as we administer this rule, I hope you take that into consideration.
I made a post about this today, and I got a couple of questions that I thought were good. The first one, I had a man ask me if this would be, if the consequences that we're imposing would be applied retroactively. Now, I did take the liberty of answering no online. That's my understanding of it. Was I correct in that?
Yes, you're correct.
Okay, so this is going forward from now. And then the other question I had, you know, we, in the language of this, we talked about video recording. Someone was making the distinction between video and still photographs. Would we treat those the same if someone's just taking photos?
That is a great question, and that is open for board discussion. We can add still photos to this as well if the board feels that's appropriate.
I personally think that it is.
Okay,
but-
I have no objection. I would move to add still photos, any digital recording, digital photograph, maybe audio recording as well. Essence, capturing the moment for the purpose of posting or sending to other people to communicate what took place.
Okay.
Other than to report.
Okay. So we would need a motion for an amendment, correct?
Does Lisa have other questions?
Yes.
No, I'm done.
Okay. Any other
I
questions?
just want to throw out just a couple of thoughts. No matter what, you can clarify or whatever, you know? It's not, I get it that we had something that happened yesterday that definitely put a sour taste in everybody's mouth because that was sickening. But we can't compare it to something of this sort to where it was a fight or something of that. Do I think the punishment should be the same as the person getting into the fight? I don't. I mean, we are human, and I mean, even on the street, I'm gonna record something. I'm like, oh my gosh, did that really happen, you know? But I don't think it should be the same.
Well, and I guess to just push back, like, out in public as an adult, we have no authority here. We have authority over this community, and we have children in this place to learn, to be protected. This is not the public at large. I think it should to send a stark message that we do not condone fighting. These pupils should come here and be protected and know they're protected. And this video recording culture where instead of engaging and saying, stop what you're doing, the kids are pulling out their phones and recording. If you are doing that, you are complicit. You are watching what taking place without having the courage to step in and say no. And so I understand it's maybe a harsh penalty.
It is, because we're looking at that 7th grader too.
Mhm.
It wasn't the kids that were bullying him afterwards, it was the adults.
But
It was
but
the
that's the
adult
problem.
that
Again,
took it out, and it was
came
that
from a video recorded
specific
in
parent who
place.
decided to send it to everywhere.
But still, it was a video recorded that was sent out with the intent and purpose of mass spreading. It didn't go directly to the principal. I mean, the principal had to learn of it secondhand. And if that video had been taken straight to the principal, it could have been handled right away. And so
Very true.
I understand that it's harsh punishment, but it's a harsh action. And you need harsh punishment for actions that we deem completely unacceptable. The bullying, the video recording of these events, and then the dissemination, I cannot accept. So I understand it's harsh, but I think it is appropriate. And I guarantee kids are gonna have a second thought about, oh, let me record this and send this on Snapchat versus maybe I need to tell somebody about it.
Yeah,
Or maybe I need to step in and say, guys, no, stop this. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and I believe this board, we have an obligation to strengthen policy when it comes to student discipline. Our teachers need to feel supported, our administrators need to feel supported. Whenever there are disciplinary issues, they need to know that our board is here to review current policy and see how that we can strengthen it to improve the current situation in our educational environments, because things change every day. Mr. Keller said it best. Years ago, we would have never thought about a school shooting. And every day we wake up and it's almost a regular occurrence on the national news, and it's heartbreaking. And the same way with fights being recorded, you can literally get on social media and almost every fight that happened in public schools and private schools, every school in America, children are putting those fights on TikTok. They're putting attacks of teachers on TikTok, and they need to understand that it's completely unacceptable. Actions have consequences, and this board will be sure that we are making sure to implement discipline where it needs to be implemented, and to create a safer environment and anti-bullying.
I wish we could do more of the anti-bullying, but the thing is we really can't. I get it with this, we can make little change and
No,
stuff.
I agree.
But the thing is there's only so much a principal can do, because
Absolutely.
we were in that situation recently, and he did amazing. But still, like I said, there's only so much you could do. I think the lack of parenting too is quite difficult, because the teachers and principals are being the parent. I mean,
Well, and there's definitely a concern, so I would, perhaps let's establish a committee to look at our disciplinary
and that's what we
policy.
talked about, and that's what we're gonna do for going forward on that.
Yeah, I'd like to establish a committee of principals, teachers, administrators, parents, to look at what our disciplinary policies are and how they're being implemented, and if, recommend changes, improvements, stuff like that. So going forward, I would like to see that done. But as far as this policy goes, I would move to add photographs, any digital video recording, photographs, still pictures, or audio recordings to that subsection 34. And then I would also move to pass first reading and go to approval.
Yeah, waive second reading.
Waive second reading, thank you.
So at this time, we would need a motion for your motion for amendment. I need a second on his motion.
I will second. I will second.
Okay.
Michael Kern?
Yes.
Evelyn Tinsley?
Yes.
Lisa Lamont?
Yes.
Matthew Houston?
Yes.
David Rose?
Yes. And now you may make your motion to waive second reading.
So I would move to waive second reading and implement policy.
And I second.
Michael Kern?
Yes.
Evelyn Tinsley?
Yes.
Lisa Lamont?
Yes.
Matthew Houston?
Yes.
David Rose?
Yes. All right. At this time, item 7.1, Superintendent Dr. Stone, good evening again.
Thank you again. I would just like to congratulate all our teachers on moving to continuing status. That is a big accomplishment in their career. And also to our national conference presenters. If Mrs. Vanderjack is still in the audience, I did want to let her know we have talked to all of our principals and we are absolutely implementing that law, and our students in 4th through 6th grade are reciting that section of the Declaration of Independence, so that is also wonderful. And as Mr. Houston said, I do want to thank our principals for all the work they did putting into those spreadsheets and getting them ready for this update, and then also to our Student Achievement Department and Mrs. Wilson for presenting tonight. I think that is great information for our board and for our public to hear, and all the work that you are doing, so thank you very much.
All right, thank you. All right, at this time, item 7.2, Governing Board Members.
Just very quickly, 3 of our board members were able to go to a conference that's put on by our in-house legal representation. So they covered a variety of current topics, and I thought it was very informative, and several of our directors were able to join us as well. So.
It was great.
Just one thing, an additional perhaps committee or something we could look at is some principals have brought up getting their teachers and themselves to conferences. And I'd like to look at, do we have a formalized process to where they can request to go, whether that's principals, teachers, or administrators, what that process is. And then 2, can we look at what is conferences that are maybe annual, that are of value, that the district, that you recommend, that we can start sending teachers to kind of maybe on a more annual basis. A new teacher comes in, hey, these are kind of some good conferences for you to attend, senior teachers and as such. So just looking at how we are getting teachers, you know, kind of some personal improvement, and rewarded with conferences and things like that. So that's just something I would like to look into.
All right.
Can we talk about that as a leader, or can I express something else on that?
It's just for information.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
only
okay.
for information.
I know that there
It's
is.
not really discussion.
Yeah, there's,
I'm just-
it's only for.
So it would be brought up, I guess, next time we
Yeah.
present information.
Oh, okay, so we
Yep.
bring it up next time.
Correct.
Perfect.
All right, and just a couple things that we are looking at implementing. One of the things that I'm working with Superintendent of Center is pathway to promotion. And so we want to create and grow our own leaders in the district as people retire, as principals move on to other positions potentially. And we want to grow our own leadership. Havasu is very special about that. And one of the things that we have begun to have conversations about, and Carol has been a great help, and Joel both to me in this, along with the superintendent, is if a teacher wants to leave and go into administration, they take a pay cut. And that's just unacceptable. We need to be able to grow our leaders and them not take a pay cut to become a leader in a different position. And so those are things that I would like to look at in our next governing board meeting as I present the pathway to promotion and growing and mentoring our leaders within the district, because we've got some amazing future leaders sitting in classrooms, and we want to see them one day leading our schools in different capacities. So I'm excited to be presenting that. And then another thing Dr. Stone and I have been working on together, a lot of issues throughout the district with behavior. And one of the things, I know Roundtable used to exist in the district, and we are looking at bringing a very similar program back to help get these students the help they need when it comes to behavior. So that's all I have at this time. Thank you. Any other?
I spoke with Valley Newman today, and we went over an awesome slideshow, just the process of how some of the things go for timelines and such. And I didn't know if you guys would be interested in see it, but I think it would help a lot of the parents too, just to answer some questions, like the same repetitive questions that can be gone over.
I'll make it publicly available.
And I know some of that information, I think she can do, we'll get with her and get that on the agenda.
So we can put it on the agenda. Do you
That-
have to ask specifically, or is that
Dr.
something
Stone.
that? Okay, I would definitely like for that to go on
Okay.
there.
Awesome. All right. Is there any other questions, items, discussion from the board?
Well, I move to adjourn.
Item 7.3, just for the public, is for board review only, just for your information, just in case you're wondering. Now, you may make your motion. All right. I'll second.
Yes.
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 Yes. Go to the football game, go Knights. Dismissed.